So today is Holy Wednesday, also known as Spy Wednesday. Do y'all know why it's called Spy Wednesday? Because of Judas. In today's gospel, we hear the conversation that Judas had with the chief priest, and he asked him, "How much are you willing to give me if I deliver him to you?" And the chief priest said 30 pieces of silver. Judas, you about to turn over Jesus for 30 pieces of silver? Man, how greedy can you be? Right? As I was praying and reflecting with the gospels for today, a certain game came to mind. I'm really big on board games. Me and my friends play it all the time. And the game is called The Resistance. And if you've ever played The Resistance, you know that there are two sides. There's the resistance, and then there are the spies. Right? And the goal of the game is, if you're a resistance, you're trying to figure out who your other fellow resistance are, and you're trying to weed out the spies so y'all can win. And as a spy, you know who your other spy is, and you're trying to deceive others. You're trying to lie and pretend to others that you're resistance so the spies could win. Right? And I just imagine in this gospel at the Last Supper, Jesus and all the disciples around the table, it was one big game of resistance, and Judas was the only spy. And he had everybody played, right? Except Jesus. Right? Everybody at the table was like, what? Who is it going to be? Right? Who's going to betray you? Even Judas asked that same question. Right? He says, "Is it I, Master?" Judas, you just had a conversation with the chief priest. You already turned the money, and you still ask as if you don't know that it's already you. Like that you're still surprised. Right? How often are we Judas? Christian, never. Right? What I mean by that is, how often do we pretend? Right? How often do we pretend to be something that we're not, right? Pretense. Right? If I'm at work, I'm pretending to be working, I'm pretending to be busier than I actually am when this X, Y, and Z person comes in. Or if I'm at school, I pretend to be studying. I'm at practice, I'm pretending to be practicing, working, grinding. Right? When I'm at work, I pretend to be working. And then when so-and-so leaves, or when I'm around this certain person, then I go back to being the way I was before. Right? How often do I pretend to be holier than I actually am? How often do I pretend to be too tired or too sick to go to Mass? Too lazy to pray? Right? There's so often we could be Judas. And in a similar way of Judas, how much would we be willing to betray Jesus for? Again, Christian, nothing. I wouldn't betray Jesus for anything. Every time I choose sin, every time I choose to fall into those same bad habits, I'm choosing to betray Jesus. Right? And what's important to recognize, right, and especially in this gospel, is like, we all have been Judas, and we all know someone who has been Judas to us. But when someone is Judas to us, when someone betrays us, when someone turns their back on us, it's not an invitation, right, to gossip, to lie, to get revenge. It's an invitation to lean into Christ even more. Let it be an invitation to be angry, to be upset, to be sad, to be broken. Right? But also see it as an invitation to lean into Christ even more. Right? That Jesus, you are all I need. That Jesus, help me show mercy and forgiveness as you have shown me, as you have shown them. Because you were first betrayed and you were first hated. And so often when we get betrayed, when someone turns their back on us, that's an invitation for us to gossip. Right? To hold a grudge, to get revenge. When no, we're supposed to lean into Jesus. We're supposed to lean into Christ, to ask for that strength, to ask for that understanding, and to show that same mercy and forgiveness that he shows us every time we betray him. Every time we choose to sin. Every time we choose sin over Christ. Right? This Holy Week, forgive those Judases in your life. Recognize when we have been Judas to others and forgive those Judases that have betrayed us. Right? Reach out to that person. Reach out to that person that you're holding a grudge against. Reach out to that person who you have all this resentment, all this anger towards, and show them mercy and forgiveness, just as Jesus has shown us every single day. As we go into this Holy Triduum, right, as we prepare for this weekend, right, let us not be like Judas, who was surprised by his own weakness. Let us not be surprised by our own weakness and our own brokenness, but let us boast in it. Let us rejoice in the fact that we are broken, we are weak, and it should direct us in that understanding of our need for a Savior, our need for Christ. Let us pick up our cross every single day. Right? Let's stop comparing our cross to somebody else's cross, but let us rejoice in the cross that we have and that we get to carry. And when we suffer, let us understand that we get to suffer and rejoice with Christ and get a taste of Jesus' suffering. Right? So, I ask us again, right? How have we been like Judas? Right? And how much are we willing to betray him for? I love y'all. Keep being a saint. Keep striving for holiness. Keep carrying your cross. And I'll see y'all in that next video.